And we are live. Hello, Inhumanoids. So good to see you tonight. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to another Inhumanoid Live. I'm your host, Barton Nunnelly. Your co-host right here beside me, as always, my beautiful wife, Latisha. Hi, babe. How you doing?
Hi, baby. Hi, everybody.
Also adorning your screen tonight, the lovely Krista Michael Tweedy from Blondes and Boots. Hi, Krista. How are you tonight, hon?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing good. Doing better. Been fighting the cold since our trip last week to the LBL. I know everyone. Yeah, everyone that's been praying for me, thank you so much. There's no such thing as a wasted prayer. So Thank you so much for that. And
I do appreciate it.
yes, we do. And I know everyone wants to talk about the LBL trip, but we're going to wait. We're going to wait till next Wednesday's open mic to do that. I'll answer all your questions, tell you everything that happened, and give you my own rundown of what I believe we actually accomplished there. But tonight we have a very special guest. I know you're going to be interested in what he has to say. So, honey, do you have, before we get into all that, do you have something you'd like to read?
Yep. Okay. So first of all, I want to do a shout out to Nellie and Josh Turner. We got a surprise gift in the mail today, and it was just awesome. And just want to say thank you so very much. We appreciate it more than you know. And I love my blankie. Just saying. So thank you so much, Nellie. Prayers for Mark and Linda Maycheck. Linda's mom passed away this past week, and so we need some prayers for them. Mark is Cryptidville. Everybody knows Cryptidville on here.
Mark.
Or Wolf Brother Mark, that's right. Mindy Masters' friend Eddie. Spilling Tea with Spunky Sparky. She was going to be back maybe in a week or maybe 2 weeks. I don't know for sure just yet. She may come back tonight. I don't know. But she was gone for a while dealing with the death of her mother and taking care of her affairs. She got home just, I think, 3 or 4 days ago, something like that, and found her cat had passed away while she was gone. So, she's really sad, dealing with that. That's too lost. Just want to say prayers to Sonia. We talked to Sonia the other night. I don't know if she's on here or not, but hey, prayers, and we hope everything gets better. And we'll let you know my times that we're going to be able to come and see you guys. D. Starrick, what is that? Zachary Stams.
His dad
has stage 4 cancer. Mother Marlene, Grandma Sharon, and brother Josh.
Prayers for all the whole family.
For the whole family. Rodney Adams' wife, Eric Ogle. Slade McQueen's friend, Slade McQueen's friend, 31 years old, had a massive heart attack, is in the hospital, sedated and intubated. So they're asking for prayers for his wife and his newborn child. Unspoken prayer request for Holly Mangum, Chuck and Melanie Lindsay, Amy Long and her family, Beverly Boville family, daughter.
Moving.
Elaine Lewis, successful move for her daughter.
Okay. And there's another one to add to. Brother Heck says, send a prayer up for me too.
Yes, Brother
Heck. Yep, he's on here.
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm glad you've seen it.
He just commented, so.
Okay, yeah, he's on
prayers
here.
For you, Brother Heck. Prayers of healing for you, brother.
Gina Cook, if you're out there, prayers for you. Sherry Griffey, Sam Burton, Mark Staten, Vic and Vergulati, Cowboy 4572's wife Cindy, Scott's Life's daughter Megan, Nadine Bush Smith. She's having some health issues and she's having some problems with her legs, so she's really needing some prayers. And she's also asking prayers for her son Doug. So sending prayers to you guys. Anna and Kevin Jones, Martin Groves. He's sick, just like Bart. Same thing Bart has. So hope they both get better. Hawk. Hope you're feeling better. Josh and Nellie Turner and the PRT family. Kevin and Melissa Panay. Kevin just had surgery, and so he needs some prayers. Brother Heck, Trey Hood, Krista Tweedy and her family. Mike Milton, which is Sherry Griffey's nephew. He's needing some prayers. And I think that's it on the prayer list. So everybody just say prayers, and really, guys, take time to actually say the prayers, and send them out.
Thank you in advance. I also want to ask you to say a prayer for this fractured community. So we're trying to bring everybody together as one, and we have some of our brothers that are odds with each other. And I just want you to say a prayer that they can work out their differences and we can live together in harmony or go our separate ways in peace. Also, say a prayer for the country. We have a major event coming up in a couple of weeks. It's a complete solar eclipse. Now, I know everybody, every time an eclipse comes, everybody breaks out the prophecies of doom, but this one could be different than the last few. We've only had 8 complete solar eclipses across this nation since we began in 1776, either crossing it lengthwise or breadthwise. And each time that it's happened, we've been at war. So say a prayer for your fellow Americans that everything goes well and then we're not plunged into war, open war.
Right.
If you don't mind, please.
Okay, then I want to say happy birthdays to all the March birthdays. Mary Plyer, Tyler Oliger, Pancho Zorch. I had to find that out from somebody else, but Pancho Zorch, Peter Frampton, Sandra Keyward, and Mark Maycheck. Happy birthday, guys.
Happy birthday, guys.
All right.
Hope everybody's doing well. Hello to everybody in the chat. So good to see every one of you. Our extended family. We appreciate every one of you being here. And wish you all the very best. We love it, each and every one of you. And we have a guest tonight that I know you're going to find very interesting. Like I said, I know everybody wants to talk about the LBL trip, but we will do that next Wednesday, okay? So without taking any time away from this gentleman that's so bravely agreed to come share his story with everyone here, we'll get right to it, and I'm going to introduce him. Ladies, bring him up. This is Troy Rauter, and he's better known in our community's chat rooms as Tripping Up on You. How you doing, bro, Troy?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Okay, good.
Good.
Can everybody hear Troy okay?
Yeah, let us know in your comments so you can hear Troy all right. We've got a lot of
No.
things to play.
Trying not to move. I was told to be frozen. Still coming in good?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
still hear you good, brother. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a long time coming, right? But here we are at last.
It is. And I'm glad to be here. I love you guys. And I love the show. And the whole family. So,
Yeah, we can't hardly hear you, brother. We have some problems with the audio, it seems like.
is that better now?
That is
Yeah.
good.
Thank you so much.
I have one more thing I need to say before I forget. We have a couple giveaways tonight. We're going to give away a hat and a shirt and a print from Bart. We promised everybody if we hit 7,000, we'd do it. We hit that last week, but we was gone to the LBL, so we wasn't able to. So stick around for tonight after the show or at the end of the show, and we'll be doing our giveaways.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Brother Troy, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, now, we've been talking together for a couple of months now, and I know that you do believe in God and the sanctity and the deity of Jesus Christ. So we are brothers in Christ, and everything that you say tonight will be the truth. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Right. I know no one else asked or guessed this question, but I think it's important for the viewers to hear that coming from the speaker's mouth and not mine. So let's get started, Troy. Tell us all a little bit about yourself before we get into the many unexplained happenings that's happened to you throughout your life.
Are we still here? We're good, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 56 years old. I've lived a long, hard life. I've battled evil since I was as young as I can remember, and about age 5. And it's always been something that I've had to deal with. And so that, the paranormal with everything has come together with it. And so, I've been there, done that with a lot of different, ghosts and Bigfoot and you name it, almost, except the dog man, and that's okay. I could pass on that. I don't need to see werewolf or dog man.
Right.
But
Troy, put your mouthpiece, your headset, or your phone a little closer to your mouth, brother. I want everybody to make sure everybody can hear you clearly.
Yeah, somehow I'm not sure why. Is it because I'm using this headset and I don't know if this headset's good enough or what.
So are you using a headset on your phone or your computer?
No, it's on my phone. Switch to my phone. I wonder if I use my computer better.
If you use what? Because I'm like Barton, you're kind of muffled a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's speed through my computer too. I wonder.
Can you maybe take off the headset and just
Just
speak
use your
directly?
Is that better?
Let's try it and see.
Say a few words now, brother.
Can't hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. How about this? Is this better?
I think it's a little bit better, don't you, Kristen?
Mm-hmm.
A little better?
Yeah, I think we're good now, Troy.
Okay. Because I can barely, I'm hearing you enough, Bart, but I'm trying to not get feedback. So,
Yeah.
So my first real encounter that I had was when I was 5 years old, and I used to have my mom's aunt, my great aunt. She would babysit us, my sister and I. I have a sister that is 4 years older than I was, and so we'd go over there quite often. But they had a house in Bremerton, Washington, that was up on this hill. They had apartments down below, and it was built like in the 1880s or something. And so it always had spooky stuff to it, and it always had, I'd see things moving, when I was younger here and there. And so I was there with my mom one day, and my aunt and my great aunt and my mom were talking in the kitchen. And I was in the living room playing with, Tonka trucks and stuff. They had my uncle, my great uncle, worked for Kitsap County road crew, so we have the yellow dump trucks, Tonka stuff to tell us all the time.
And this is in Washington State, right?
Washington State, over on the coast of Washington State by the ocean there. So I happened to be looking out the window, and there was a big double pane window that was behind the couch, and the bottom of it was just about the head part of the couch. And so I happened to look up, and this big butterfly started flying by, and it was flittering out there, and there was a bunch of blackberry bushes out there with blackberries on it. And then there was probably about a 10-foot drop down to the ground, but it was the blackberry bushes were probably 3 feet away from the house. And so I got up on the back of the couch, and as I got up there, the butterfly landed. So I tried opening I got up and I was holding on, it had a lever handle, and I was trying to open the window, and the next thing I know, I got shoved from behind and pushed through the glass of the window, and I was in and half hanging out. And so, of course, my mom and my aunt heard that, and so they come in to the living room. And I had no idea what happened, but nobody else was there. They were teaching, and so they proceeded to assess the situation really quickly. And I had about it was 12 inches probably long, and maybe 8 inches at the width to a point right over my back. And I was stuck in the window with both arms cut on the glass and wedged in there. And so that piece of glass above me was just barely hanging there. And so my mom proceeded to, tell my aunt not to do, don't touch me because it's going to fall through, and they couldn't grab it. So my aunt ran and grabbed a pair of gloves, and then came in and got up on the couch where she could reach that piece of glass up above me, and went ahead and got a hold of it. They didn't want to take it out because it was right above my back, so they didn't have the room to do that. And they proceeded to, jiggle me out because I was wedged in there. And I had like serious lacerations on both arms that I needed big stitches, and I got stitches for it and stuff. And so, it was a situation where I could have died really easily.
Yeah.
And if I would have fell through, I would have fell head first down the rock and stuff down below. So in one sense, I was lucky I didn't go all the way through. But they couldn't figure out what happened either. There's no way I should have, went through the glass just normal. I didn't fall forward. I got pushed forward. And after that, I
So you felt like you were pushed by an unseen force through that window.
Yes, something there, and there would be things moving all the time over there. And after this, I got really scared about going to their house. All my life we go over there for family get-togethers and stuff, and I'd have anxiety fits just thinking about going there because of what had eventually transpired, and later different things. And my great aunt, my great uncle, and stuff, they took it pretty lightly. But
you're fading out again, Troy.
Huh?
I don't know what you're doing, brother, but you're fading out again. We can
Well, I just got a message from Paranormal Paul, and he thinks it's on his end. He thinks it's an internet connection up on you.
Okay.
Internet.
I was just asking him how to fix it, and there's really no way because it's on your end. So
It's better.
No, it's worse.
It's worse.
Yeah, you really need your mouth close to your headset. If not, use your headset close to your phone.
Is this any better?
I
that
think it
sounds
sounds
a little better.
Yeah.
Talking.
Any better?
So if it comes down to it, and what we can do, Bart, is you call him and put him on speakerphone right next to the laptop, and everybody can hear him that way too. We have done that before on our shows. So just an FYI.
Okay.
I just want everybody to be able to hear what he's saying.
Sure.
And I can speak. Is it coming out muffled, or is
you're right there? That's good right there. What you're doing.
Yeah, and then it'll end up coming out muffled. You start out good, but then it gets muffled.
Yeah, and I'm trying to stay completely still.
Sorry about that,
Don't
brother.
move for 2 hours.
Well, you can't move for 2 hours, all right? So tell us, was that the only thing that happened in your, was your grandmother's haunted house or your aunt's?
Yeah. There would be the swings outside that would start swinging on their own and at different times. And then they did have something that they wouldn't let us get very far out back because it was right on a mountainside. And they did talk about something like the booger man and the boogeyman that, if we got too far out on the back, that, could get us. But I'd never seen it. We just were told about it, to be careful. And, because there's blackberry bushes and stuff all over back there. And it was right up along the side of a mountain. So, now the stuff that I know and the information that I've learned is prime Bigfoot, area. And, the Pacific Northwest is known exclusively for having, Bigfoot all over. And so, that was pretty much the only encounter there that I had. And
right, now I'm going to take you, brother, to a day you'll probably remember really well, June 15th, 1974. Can you tell us what was happening that day with you?
Okay. My mother and father got divorced when I was just after 5. And, like 5.5 years old. So my mom remarried another man just about 6 months to 8 months later. He was in the military. He had 4 children of his own, ranging from 14 was the oldest, 13, and then those are the 2 teen boys, and then His daughter was 9, and the youngest son was just, I think, 6 months older than me. He was just 7 years old, almost 7 or 7. Jeff Bratcher. And so we'd gotten to know each other a little bit in South Carolina because we lived there for like a year and a half when my stepdad finished up his military. So his kids came and visited there. And we spent like a month in South Carolina there together. And is the sound still good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Let me know if it's not, and I'll do whatever. But so then when he got retired after 23 years of military in the Navy, a sub engineer, we came to Washington where the rest of the family lived. Grandparents on both sides, my mom's sisters and stuff, and so they were farmers down the middle of Washington State by Moses Lake. And so the kids came to visit us over here, his 4 kids. And we all took a road trip to Ocean Shores in Washington. And we were going there for, a day activity. We took off early in the morning, and it was about a 3.5, 4 hour trip. We got over there, and we proceeded to they were going to get lunch ready. And the 2 oldest boys, Jimmy and Joey, Jimmy was 14, Joey was 13. Jeff was the 7-year-old, and myself. There was a little mountain, just, nothing big, but maybe 100 yards up this mountain, 125 yards up through the woods. There was 2 trails going up through it. And we went up there adventuring like boys do, And so we got up to the top. We were messing around, sticks, whatever, just looking and checking the mountain out. And they called us for lunch. And they hollered at us, come down, it's lunchtime. So there was 2 trails, and we were at the top of this bluff. And the 2 trails, one went parallel to the other. And so Jimmy, the oldest boy, says, last one down has to be cleaned up. We knew we'd have to clean everything up afterwards. So we all took off. Those 2, the team boys, went down the one path to the left, and Jeff and I went down the path to the right. And so I got to jump on Jeff, and I was headed down the path, and somehow I stumbled or got tripped or fell, and I went down, and Jeff got around me and got past me about maybe the first, 25 yards down the mountain. So we still maybe had 75 yards to go to where it came out into this big open area. There was a U road that came through this park, and then the grass area that had benches and stuff and swings, and you could only go one way on this U through, right? No other cars, no other people were there. It was just us.
Right.
And so, I got back up and took off down the hill. And I remember this one thing, and after I wrote this out and thought about it, because investigation questioned me a lot. But when I got down off the path, Jimmy and Joey were just getting over to the picnic tables where they were at, which was, once you came out the clearing, it was maybe 25 yards to where they were at in the little picnic area of the tables. And so I come running out. I expected Jeff to be over there too. So when I got, when I got there, the parents are asking, "Where's Jeff?" And Jimmy and Joey are like, "Well, he was short." And I'm like, "Well, he should have came out. He was just ahead of me. Maybe 15 feet, 20 feet, if that." Because I got right back up, and I was pretty fast until I got to jump on him in the first place. But
so he just disappeared between the trail and the parking lot. Jeff disappeared.
Yeah, there was when he came, he never came off the trail. I'm losing you guys now. I couldn't hear you, Barton.
He had to mute for a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You guys have to excuse me. If I start coughing and everything, I'll just mute.
So me
You guys
too.
know that. I'll put you through that. But so, did you hear any sounds of a struggle, Troy? From Jeff?
Yeah.
Did he, if someone was to abduct him or something like that, he would have surely yelled out help or something, right?
Absolutely.
Honey.
Picking his team and if something would have grabbed him or he would have fell. I mean,
Okay, we're losing your audio again, Troy.
you're again?
Yes, we're losing it again.
You think we should just call him?
There seems like something else playing or something in the background or something.
No, it's just you guys talking maybe, but because then I have trouble. Can you hear it now again?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, I have to turn my phone down, my volume, so that I can't hear. And so I think I can turn it up on the computer so that I can hear you guys better and not hopefully have any feedback.
All right.
Let me see. No, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I don't know about that, brother.
it's lagging. Okay,
It might be best, Barton, if you just call him and put him on speakerphone and set your phone by the computer.
Let's do that. We're gonna call you, Trippin'. So
yeah, let's do that.
okay.
All right.
Don't
Bye.
forget you're on a do not disturb, so you're not gonna hear it ring.
All right. Thank you.
We're calling you now.
And while they are making their phone call, Truthy Ruthie, happy Easter to you too, and thank you.
Happy Easter. Thank
Happy
you,
Easter, Truthy. Thank you so much, hon.
I hope you're feeling better. Let me get to the comments here.
What are you doing?
I was just looking at stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, gotcha. Now, yeah, sounds great. Now, where do I put this?
Just lay this up here.
Lay it up there like
Leave
that?
it up there and then talk to us, Troy.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we getting a better sound now coming through?
Sounds better to me.
Okay, great.
How's it sound to
Yeah,
all you
'cause I can
out
hear
there?
you guys now.
Yeah. Okay. If you guys can hear Troy, drop us a line in the comment section, please.
Yep.
We want everybody to be able to hear this. It's very important.
Yeah.
So he's playing with some friends in Washington State, and they all take different trails down back to the car. And one of the boys, Jeffrey Bratcher, 7-year-old Jeffrey Bratcher, put his picture back up there.
Okay, this is his picture whenever he was disappeared.
Yeah. This boy never come down from the trail. And Troy, you said there was no sounds of a struggle or anything, right?
What I did hear is I remembered I heard a sound as I was coming down, and I just heard it's almost at the time I told him it was like
We can't hear anything. His service is awful.
Okay. They can't hear you. Hang on.
Yeah, I guess it's his internet service, maybe.
Well, it's on my phone, so
Yeah. We can hear him fine right here.
Yeah, that's better.
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Gosh dang it.
We got you, Troy. We got you, brother.
Yeah, you just cut out briefly. That's all.
Yeah.
We got you now. Go ahead.
So what did you hear in between his disappearance and you getting up to run?
Oh,
Okay.
he's gone.
No, I'm
okay.
here. I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that any better?
Yeah, that's great, man.
Okay. I'm not moving. I won't even move my legs. That's hard for me, though, because
Right.
All
I'm
right.
sorry to put you through this. I don't know what's going on with the audio, but we'll get it taken
I
care of.
know it's evil. I just put it that way. Okay? It's as simple as that. It's evil. I deal
Right.
with it all the time.
Yeah, so that's
So-
digital gremlins. So
It
you,
is.
you
It
said
is.
you did hear a sound, right?
Yeah, and I said then like a swoosh, but it was more like sandpaper, like a sound like sandpaper on metal. You know, just like I don't know, maybe just like 4 or 5 seconds of a sound, because they were asking me if I heard brushes, if the the woods, snap, apple, crack, whatever, all that. They were drilling me, because the FBI showed up. I mean, they searched this place for a week, and they dredged the pond. There was a pond up above. They dredged it twice, and excuse me. And so we, had dogs, volunteers, hundreds of volunteers. We even stayed after that week, and they found nothing, zero, not a shoe, nothing. And the other thing I remember was too, is they did have his footprints in the dirt. They didn't come out on the pavement, and they stopped. They had my footprints coming all the way down, and his footprints stopped about 20 feet before the bottom, and there was no other tracks, nothing. He just vanished.
Just vanished from the face of the earth.
Yeah, he vanished.
Poor
And
little fellow.
I know, and it would have been me. It was supposed to be me.
Right. If you hadn't tripped and fallen, you'd have been the one that vanished.
Wow.
And it would have been me. So they even reopened the case about, after 30 years, it was a cold case. So it was about, 20 years ago, I think, something like that, or somewhere in there, that they reopened the case and re-interviewed my stepfather, because he was my stepbrother, basically, by marriage. And so it ruined the relationship with the other kids and my stepfather, because they thought he did something, and that we kidnapped him, and that we took him, even though they were there when it happened. And so, it was a new marriage with my stepdad and my mom, caused a lot of rift,
Yeah. What do you think, Troy? What do you think? What does your heart tell you happened to poor little Jeffrey Bratcher, 7-year-old?
A portal opened up, and because it was a beautiful day, if someone had taken him in the air, we'd have seen it. If he'd vanished. So, in my heart of hearts, and then thinking back on it, and that sound, like sandpaper.
Yeah.
Kind of like something like that, but just real quick. It was like maybe, 4 seconds, shh, and gone. And so that's, what I've thought all these years is he ran right into a portal, and it closed. And I think that's what I heard, was it closing. And because, like I said, there was no scream, no sound, no shoe, like you kick a shoe off. And then not having any tracks coming out of the wood. Nobody drove by down below. No one else was there. It's the only thing that really could have happened.
Right.
From what we know now, back then they were saying somebody had to have grabbed him or we did something. I mean, the FBI looked at my stepfather and our family huge, because his mother, my stepfather's ex-wife, made a huge deal. And then the kids never came to see their dad again after that.
Oh, wow.
He had no relationship with them. The older boys and the girl. That was that.
Wow.
Very unfortunate.
And, it was sad.
Well, guys, I'm going to show a picture of what he might look like today. So, I mean, it can never hurt to show people an age progression. So, this may be what Jeffrey looks like today.
So, if you've seen this man or have seen him in the past, or if you know him, please contact your local authorities, because his mother and father, if they're still alive, they're still looking for their son. You can bet on that.
Yeah, and just while we're here at the moment, a shout out to his older brothers and older sisters. If they ever see this, that I love them too, his family, and I'm sorry we all had to go through this.
Right.
They went through it too.
So has now we know Mr. Wires is giving us interference there, Brother Troy. So we know that David Pilatus, he's made a career out of cases like this. Has he ever looked?
Oh,
Yeah, that's bad there, Troy, whatever you did. Has David Pilatus ever looked into this case?
No, he has not.
Has this case ever been featured on any other podcast or anything on YouTube or anything like that?
No, it has not. This is the first time.
Okay, so
Oh.
folks, you heard it here first. This is a tragic story of a child who just vanished in thin air, 7 years old, 1974, and no one has seen or heard from him to this day. So, that's terrible. It's a terrible thing. And how did you end up coping with this, Troy? I know it must have affected your life very deeply.
It did, because my stepfather changed a lot too, and he was really hard on me, and I think, of course, he was grieving with the loss of his son that disappeared,
Sure.
plus the loss of his other 3 kids, basically, because they had nothing to do with him. Not a thing, no phone calls. They didn't want anything to do with him ever again. And it had to do with the mother, too. She egged that on a lot. But so it affected my growing up quite a bit. And so when I was 8, my aunt and uncle took me into church in the Berean Church in Spokane. And I was in Sunday school, and I'd had a lot of problems in school because we moved to Spokane when I just turned 7. After that, we'd actually got a place in Spokane instead of down in the middle of the state. And so I started in 2nd grade, and the kids were mean. I was a big kid. I played football before that, but, I was big, and the kids were mean, and I didn't have any friends. I came in halfway in the middle of 2nd grade, so everybody already had their cliques. And everything else that had transpired, my real dad didn't want nothing to do with me. So, because he said I chose my mom. And so I was going into a shell big time over everything. And when I was in Sunday school, they were doing Father's Day cards. And I didn't see my stepfather as my father, and my actual father didn't want anything to do with me. When my mom and him got divorced, he turned a cold shoulder, never paid child support, never had really nothing to do with us for a long time either. So they were doing Father's Day cards, and I remember, and I was pretty upset because I didn't have anybody to make a card for. And I was there, and I was praying out to the Lord, and I was just like, why? Why is this, happening to me? And then next thing in my head, the Lord said, that it's okay. That absentee father that doesn't want nothing to do with you, he says, that's okay, because you have a father here in me, and I'm God, and I'll always be here for you. And this is a hard one for me to tell because I always break down, but I'm going to hold it together here. And then he said, those kids at school that you try to please and you do for, and they're mean to you. He said, it's okay. You have a brother in Jesus, my son, and he'll always be there for you. And I just started busting down, bawling. And there was like 10, 12 kids there, and they're all looking at me like, what is wrong? And the guidance teacher, whatever, he's like, looking at me, what's going on, Troy? And like I messed my pants or something or whatever. It's like, and I just was like, well, I told him, God told me that I'm going to be okay. And it turned my whole life around. Absolutely. I came out of my shell, and I didn't, it wasn't that big of a deal that I didn't have a real father at the time. I had God. And at that point, I knew that, God had chose me for his reason. And that brought on a lot of the evil. And I kind of didn't really understand it then as much, but as I got older, I understood why a lot of the things that happened to me, that, the accidents and stuff, that I nearly died once, and I went and I was gone. That's one story, but and many near-death accidents and stuff that I should have died.
Yeah.
And so that's plagued me through the years, and then getting the evil just come right at me. Through people, through different encounters, but it's really built my spirituality, and I can't see anything more than it's still hearing all right.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good, brother.
Okay. But anyhow, I had a Bigfoot encounter that happened when I was about 20 years old. We were in North Idaho, and I was with my girlfriend, my Erin McManus. Her dad was Pat McManus. He wrote books, outdoor books, hilarious.
Yeah, I remember that name.
Man.
He was a celebrity.
Yeah, celebrity. And I was with his daughter for almost 5 years. So they had a house. They called it a cabin, but it was a house on Durr Island in Clark Fork, Idaho. And we'd go up there and go play in the snow and stuff. We had snowmobiles. And so we, the four of us, Aaron, Monty, my buddy Monty, Tracy, we're all the same ages, and myself went up to that house for the weekend and went snowmobiling. And so we went up this mountain called Johnson Creek. And the elevation at the top of it's about 60 or 6,000 feet, somewhere in there. And there was fresh snow that had come down. So on the way up there, there had been some people on the normal trail that had broke the trail, so it wasn't too bad. But we got to a spot where there was a gate. It was always gated. You couldn't go up. But the snow was high enough. There's about 5-6 feet of snow that we could go around and over the gate with the snowmobiles and go back up on this road that nobody had been on. And I was breaking trails, sinking about 18 inches to 2 feet in the sled, going, I was sinking that much going up on this like skidder road alongside this mountain. And we went up about a mile and a half, and we got up to where snowmobiles, shut them down. We were going to have lunch there, and I had to, take a leak. So I went off over in the tree area, and the trees wrapped around, and they had a big clearing where they must have, had their equipment to haul the logs out of the landing spot, but there were still trees around it. But it was about 100 yards across, wide open. Yeah. And as I got there, I saw something out of the corner of my eye to the left, and I seen this snow get knocked off one of the green pine trees, and then I seen this massive white Bigfoot start moving, and he moved so fast. And all I got to see was the side of his arm and the side of him and his head, but he was probably at least 10 feet tall. It was hard to make out because the bank was white, he was white, everything, there was snow on everything, and it was snowing a little bit at the time.
Yeah.
So at that point, I looked, and I seen his tracks. And I say he because I'm pretty sure he's a male, just by the track size and how big he was. And I saw him go all the way across this open area. No trees, no snow dropped down. And so at that point, I called my buddy Monty over. I said, Monty. He's like, what? I said, Monty, come here. He's like, what do you want? I said, just come here. So he comes over there, and we start looking at the size of the prints. And the prints we figured in the snow, they were about 22 inches, so at least 20 inches, and about 12 inches wide. So with the snow going up, I'd say at least 11 inches wide. by 20 or 22 inches long.
Wow.
And they were 6 foot easily from one step to the next step. And you know how snow, when you step in it, sloughs off in the back?
Yeah.
You know, where you put your foot? This didn't slough off. They were straight up, straight impressions. And it snowed maybe an inch in the ones closest to us. But I could take the snow and move it out, and you could see all the footprints in the whole bit, all 5 toes and the whole bit in these prints.
Wow.
So at this point, on his shoulder, and I had a .22 pistol. So he takes the rifle off, he opens the chamber, jacks a shell in it, and he's shaking. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm loading my rifle." I looked down and I said, "Whatever you do, don't shoot it. That's just going to upset it." I think I said something else, but, you know, it's like, no, whatever you do, don't shoot it. And so then, you know, we were both shaking bad just because we started looking to see if it was coming back, and then it could have wound down around, because the way it looked to me is it went up the side of the mountain, but it could have went back over to where the sleds were or whatever. So we hoofed it over there. We got over to the snowmobiles, and first thing we just fired them all up, made noise. You know, it's like boom. And Aaron and Tracy, they're going, "What are you guys doing? We're getting stuff for lunch." And we're like, "Put it away. Let's go. We're leaving." And they're like arguing, and we're like, "We're leaving." And we start turning the sleds around, and we're like, "You guys better come with us." And so we had Monty and Tracy rode double, and Aaron had a sled and I had a sled. So, you know, we got on the sleds and we rode down that mountain. And at first I was going down first, and I was good at riding sleds, and I was going too fast just because I just kept thinking of it coming from behind me off that mountain, you know, chasing me down and grabbing me. And then I realized that somebody's going to die, because the offside of this mountain was way down into a huge ravine. And if you went off the edge, you're done. So I kind of slowed down, but I just kind of kept looking over my shoulder up the bank, you know, out of the corner of my eye. I had my helmet visor up. But Aaron and Tracy, they didn't know what was going on. You know, they were just, so we get down to the bottom, we get out of the gate, and we stop there. And I'm just sweating. I'm pouring sweat. Molly's pouring sweat. We're still shaking really bad. First thing we do is, you know, we go for the medicine, the cold weather medicine, you know, the JD, I think is what we had. And they start yelling at us. You know, they're all mad. And then we're like, you know, we didn't want to tell them up there because they would have freaked and probably died racing out. So we told them, you know, what we had encountered. And then they were like, "We want to go home right now." You know, they were freaked because they knew, looking at us, we were white as ghosts and sweating, and it was as real could be, you know. And but that was the abominable snowman. That's what I call it, the abominable, because the other thing then, I noticed then that there was no birds, no sound out, nothing, no wildlife at all. And the snow up there was so deep that, I mean, it has to be an abominable snowman to live up in that area, because there really wouldn't be a whole lot of game. There wouldn't be deer and stuff, but I didn't know that much about Bigfoot then. You know, that was my first encounter with it, and, you know, but from then on, I knew they were real. And that was in 90, I think, 89, 90. So I had known about the video with the female Bigfoot.
Patty.
Yeah.
That's in Gimlin
Patty.
film, yeah.
The Gimlin film, yeah. I'd known about it, and so, you know, I did a little bit of research and stuff, but you know, just kind of went back on with life, and but it always stuck with me that, you know, those things are out there. They're in the woods, and you know, I wish I would have been able to get a closer view at it, because I never seen its eyes. You know, I don't know if it was watching me and watching, because as soon as I looked over, you know, something where the snow fell off the tree, which caught my eye, then he was booking. He was gone. But there was the rest of us that were off behind me at 50 yards. Still okay?
Yeah, still good.
I moved a little bit, so.
Yeah, we can hear your wires swishing when you move, but that's all right, man. Just keep going.
All right. So yeah, that was an incredible encounter, because I'd say it's closer to 12 foot, just by the shoe or the print size. It's wide and it's big, and it was sinking down about at least 18 inches to 2 feet down. You know, when it was taking each step, so it had it was heavy. You know,
did you notice any smell, Troy, while you were taking care of your business?
You know, I didn't notice any smell at all. Yeah. I just remember noticing there was no chirping of birds, and it was a pretty nice day out. You know, the sun was out. You know, those winter days when you get the sun high in the elevation and stuff, but I didn't notice any smell, no sound, no either. But, you know, back then I didn't think nothing about it, you know, until what we've learned later in life. That, you know, that's a common thing with them, you know, and the cryptids and stuff with the rest of the nature didn't quiet. But I've hunted all my life, so, you know, I know all the different species. I've hunted elk, moose, deer, bear, everything there is, and that was none of them. The prints were none of that. They were absolutely a Bigfoot and a white one. And so, you know, I thought about it, and I think it probably was up where it was at because it was comfortable there being white. Being a white Bigfoot, you know, because it stays wintry up there almost all year round in that area, elevation. So, you know, it could stay camouflaged like the other ones that are colored. You know, they're in the natural woods and stuff. They stick out in the snow more. Yeah. So,
right. Corey, we're listening to Troy Rauter. You know him as tripping up on you. Thanks so much, Troy, for being brave enough to ask to come on this show. We really appreciate you, man. So
absolutely.
So this was a night like 1990.
Yeah, it was an afternoon. Yeah.
Right, so what was your next experience with the unexplained, if you can recall?
Well, I have a bunch, so I'm going to kind of hit, you know, I'm not going to go, I was going to go by age, but I'm just going to go with some of the, you know, better encounters that, like the Ouija board.
Yeah.
The Ouija board.
There we go. Ouija board again.
Yeah, the dang Ouija board.
Yeah.
And our best friends, Monty and Tracy, and Aaron and I again. And Monty and Tracy had an A-frame house that they rented in Priest River, Idaho. It's by Priest Lake, Idaho. It's up at the northern border by Canada, basically, in the Pacific Northwest. And so Aaron had always been a little bit, you know, spiritual, mystical, this and that. And Tracy dabbled in it a little bit, but not a whole lot, right? Well, they decided to get a Ouija board. And we didn't know about it. Monty and I didn't know about it. And Aaron knew that I'd already said, I don't mess with that stuff. You know, I'm a spiritual man of God. I don't play with those things. She knew that. And Monty didn't either. You know, he was like, So we come back, Monty and I come back. One evening, we went and did something. I can't remember what it was. But we come back to their house, and Aaron and Tracy had that Ouija board out. And they were messing around with it. And we're like, you know, what are you doing? And they're like, we met this guy on here. He's answering all these questions. And I'm like, we're like, what? Are you kidding? And they're like, no, watch. And they actually asked him, you know, did he live there? And the puck moved to yes. And they weren't pushing it. You know, we were watching them. And again, Monty and I, our faces are getting white, you know, they're like, shaking our heads. No. And so they said his name was Harold. That he spelled it out, that his name was Harold. Well, Monty's actual real name that he never told anybody about was Harold. I didn't know it. Nobody knew that his name was Harold. And so it had spelled out that it was Harold because he went by Monty always that I knew. But at that point, he had said, no, it didn't say it was Harold. And they said, yeah. And he goes, oh, man. And I'm like, what? He goes, well, that's my actual birth name. And I'm like, oh, man, we got something really serious going on here. So some other things that evening started kind of happening, you know, like a paper cup fell off the table. Was it breeze? There was real no breeze and stuff. And it just the vibe in the air. You could feel that just like uneasiness, kind of sick to her stomach. And so we told them, you know, done, put the Ouija board away. So they did. And we went to playing some drinking games or some cards. Well, later that evening, Monty had a big slash pile out back that we were going to burn. And it was that time of the year where you could burn it. So we had, you know, grabbed that Ouija board when they didn't notice it, and we took it out back and torched off this about 5-6 foot diameter slash pile with green pine tree limbs and stuff from cleaning up the yard. And it was probably, like I said, maybe 5-6 feet diameter, about 4 feet tall. Pretty good sized pile. So we got it going good, and we threw that Ouija board in that fire and left it. We stayed there because we'd been drinking, so we were driving. And the next morning, we get up, and Tracy and Aaron didn't know that we had done that. So Monty and I get up, and we're going to go get some coffee in Priest River. And so we go do that, and we come back, and we walk over to that slash pile, and the box that the Ouija board was burnt, but the Ouija board itself wasn't. The edges were just barely singed around it, and the puck was still basically melted a little bit, that plastic, whatever puck it was, and a little glass hole, but it was still intact. And that plastic puck deal or whatever, I don't know if it's plastic, I can't remember.
It's called a planchet.
Yeah. It's
Planchet.
Yeah. Made of plastic.
Right. See, I didn't ever want to get to know him. I didn't know even what, you know, I could barely spell Ouija just because. But it was sitting in the middle of the board. Like I said, the box was all gone and the edges were burnt and the slash file was burnt down to the ground.
Wow.
And so we're like going, now we're really freaking going, oh my gosh, those wooden boards, because they were wooden, you know, or whatever.
Cardboard.
Yeah, cardboard stuff. And I was like, oh man. So Monty's like, I'm going to bury it. So he went over to a spot and buried it. I went in back inside because he was like, make sure they don't come out and see what I'm doing or whatever. So I went back inside. So he went not very far, I guess, or something, and buried that Ouija board. Well, about maybe, I don't know, 2-3 weeks later, we had, Monty and I came back. We were always hanging at Monty and Tracy's house. Well, some weird things were starting to happen at the house. Now, cupboards would open up, and Tracy and Monty were both saying drawers would slide open, things would get knocked off, and you know, things had gotten weird. Well, and it seemed like when Aaron and I would come over, it would ramp up. Things would happen a little bit more. Well, Monty and I that day, we were gone and we came back, and Tracy had found that Ouija board on the back porch and got that Ouija board again. And they were playing with that same edge burnt Ouija board. She was like saying they wanted to get rid of the spirit because they never closed it. They did some research and they'd never closed it. But Monty told me he buried that Ouija board. He buried it pretty good, you know? Yeah. And so somehow it got itself back up and they had it again. And we freaked, you know, what are you doing? And well, we're trying to figure out who is really here and this and that. No. You know, do whatever you got to do to close it. Because I didn't really know. And they're like, said that they learned that they're supposed to do to close it out. But they didn't do that the first time. I know that for a fact. you know. So it already opened up that door, and so then we got the board right then, and Monty and I took it up in the mountains, up in Hoodoo Mountain. You guys might have heard of that, Hoodoo Mountain with Bigfoot and stuff, and the Hoodoo Mountain, and we took it up there, and we got rid of it. And
We lost his audio. We can't hear.
Can you
you still hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you rewind what you just said? Because when you mute, we can't hear him.
Yeah, he was coughing real
Doggone.
bad.
I get it.
Can
I'm
you
sorry.
repeat what you just said?
No problem.
Yeah, okay. We took it up in the mountain of Hoodoo Mountain over in Idaho, and it's well known for Bigfoots and stuff up there, but we took it way up in the mountain and got rid of it up there, busted it, and, and then did our best to bury it again in another hole, but away from the house, way up in the mountains. And it never did come back, thank God, because then I'd really been freaked, I mean, just from it coming back from it being burnt and then buried was enough. Well, stuff still kept going on and ramping at their place to where they ended up moving because of it. Well, it ended up moving with them to a new place in Spokane.
Wow.
And they moved into the city, and it had traveled with them. And they still had problems with it until we ended up getting the house blessed and having a priest come in, and they burnt sage and stuff like that, Monty and Tracy, and we had, but even when we'd go over there, it always seemed like, they'd say we haven't had any activity in weeks. But then we'd go over and hang out for a night and watch movies or whatever, and then things would happen. And I don't know if it was, because of Aaron being there when they opened up that portal and, let it out. But, and you don't know how many things came out, but, they never got a different name than Harold that I know of.
Yeah.
And after the first time, they weren't telling us either what was happening. They were just freaked out. We knew that when we found it with them the second time. That time they were freaked. They're like, "Yeah, get rid of this, do something." And because they were like, "Why'd you put it on the back porch?" Or and Monty's like, "I didn't put it back there. I buried it, about 30 feet away from the house somewhere, and I didn't even know where. Nobody knew but him." So. But it did end up basically going away. It took them moving from that place into another place like about 8 months later. And then they went ahead and saged the place and everything before they moved into it. And, we knew a pastor that came out and blessed the place again and did some stuff, the new place, before they even got there. So, I've always been, don't touch those things, don't play with them, don't mess around with them. They sell them to kids. It's ridiculous. Because
some things, once you let inside your house, brother, some things, they're hard to make leave again. So, yeah.
Yeah. He didn't want to leave. That's for sure. He was comfortable.
Yeah, I just want to say, everybody that's in the chat, please hit the like button, okay? My mods are going crazy. So hit that like button if you like the content. And also, I forgot to say earlier, if you are a subscriber, please check to see that you're still subscribed. I'm still getting comments almost daily that people are being unsubscribed from our channel. So make sure you're still a sub if that's what you want to be. So go ahead, Troy. Let's get to the next event. Now, you said you had a story about a Goatman, right?
Yes, this was.
Yeah, let's hear that.
Okay, well, this was Erin again. Erin Manis, my girlfriend. I had an apartment in Spokane, and it was a small apartment with a loft up above it. We lived there for about 4 months, and one night I was sitting in the downstairs area on the couch, loft apartments. You go up to the upstairs bedroom, basically, and there's a kitchen behind me and a little living room. And there's a sliding glass door that went out to this little grass area, and then the road went right by there. And the apartment building was on a corner, and it was more for adults. There was no kids that lived in this apartment building. They were just like single bedroom loft apartments, so it's for like couples. And I was sitting there, and it's about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I think it's closer to 2 in the morning. I think I was watching Alfred Hitchcock or something like that. Something kind of, it was either Twilight Zone or Alfred Hitchcock. And because I loved that stuff when I was younger, and still do. But I heard this whistling, almost like a swing whistling in the wind, but it was perfectly calm out. There was nothing, no wind blowing. I had the slider open with just the screen shut to the slider. And it was one of them bigger ones. It had like a, 4-foot panel, two 2-foot panels, and 6'8". But the curtains were closed, and they weren't. They were the old style curtains. Yeah, and so they were closed, and I heard this whistling sound. I'm like, what is that? We didn't have any parks or any schools around us or anyone in the area that had a swing set. There was that back and forth whistling, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, the curtains on the one side where the screen was blew open about 70 degrees and just stayed blowing open for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then woof, went back down. And I went, what the? And I reached around. I had a pistol that I had in the couch. My first reaction was gun. I grew up with guns and stuff. It just was in my head. Somebody's coming in the house. What's going on? I didn't think, instantly, but and I didn't feel any wind. There was a weird thing either. Is I didn't feel no wind. I just blew open like that and stayed open for that like 4 or 5 seconds, somewhere in there, 3 to 5 seconds. And so then I'm like checking, and I get up and I go and I notice that there's no wind outside. I look outside, nothing, but I can still hear that whistling sound. And I'm like, what the is that? And then next thing I know, I heard Erin. She was upstairs in bed, and I heard her tossing and turning. And she's just making all these, grumbling noises and stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? Thinking, what's up with her? Something got a hold of her. So I went upstairs cautiously, and I'm like, turned on. We had one little night light up there, and so I turned on the night light. I was just pouring down sweat. I was just tossing, turning in the covers, and mumbling, no. And I grabbed her and I tried to wake her up, and she wouldn't wake up, for maybe a minute or two, and I finally was shaking her, going, Erin, wake up. So she finally woke up. Her eyes were wide open, and she's like, oh my God. She goes, and I go, what's going on? And she goes, I had this dream, the worst dream ever, and it was so vivid. And I'm like, okay, well, tell me about it. And so she said that she'd walked in, she was walking down the street, and these doors to a church opened up. So she was compelled to walk into the church, and up the steps into the church. And she got in through the door, and the wind was blowing like a whirlwind around in the church. And there was like Bibles and books and papers and all kinds of things flying around. And then she said the door shut behind her. And as she looked up above, there was a half goat, half man, hunched over with another man. She just had side views of this. Another man sodomizing this goat man and flying around in the air. So just after she noticed it, she said the man from behind looked right at her, and you could see his face, and she said it was Satan himself. It was just Satan himself, and red eyes, and looked straight at her, and made a face. And she goes, that's where she was really freaking, and I finally got her to wake up, it's right then. And so then after she gets done telling me this, that whistling, and I go, do you hear that whistle? I said, that started right quick. We could still hear it because we had we had another window up above our bed that was like in the loft where you could get some air in it. And it was summertime now, it was hot. So that was open too. And so I was like, and I started to tell her my story, what happened downstairs. And next thing you know, all of a sudden, woof, out through that window goes this blast through the window. And there was no curtain or anything on it. It was just a window and a screen because you couldn't really see in it. But you could hear the screen kind of rattle just on the window, the screen rattle. And we both just freaked out, you know, at that point. It's like, oh my gosh. And so when I proceeded to tell her what happened to me downstairs, we both, lights on, we were done for the night. You know, we stayed in bed, huddled in bed upstairs, but neither one of us slept and winked. Neither one of us could sleep at all, you know, and you know, she to this day, I just talked to her the other day. I'm not sure if she's going to make it in or not, but on the feed live chat, but it's vivid to her. It was so real, and so, you know, she said once it turned, you know, you could absolutely tell it was Satan himself, and the Goatman was a half goat, half man, and doing something that's a horrible thing, you know, and in the, you know, sodomizing the Goatman. It was like, and so after that, we saged the apartment back then. You know, that's kind of what you did too back then, and stuff, and we never had any other issues in that apartment. It was something that came through that night, and whatever sent it or whatever drew it, I'm not sure, but it was absolutely paranormal. It was a specter, a goblin, or not a goblin, but a ghost of some type or something evil, definitely evil. Because, you know, I could feel it. Even right when that happened, I felt that I was sick to my stomach. And then even after it left, I was sick to my stomach. You know, I just felt dread and all that. So did she, you know. And then, of course, she basically melted down, and I was trying to be the strong man with my 22 pistol, you know. I ain't gonna do no good. I threw that off to the side.
Yeah.
I didn't throw it. I put it away. It's like, that ain't gonna help nothing with this. And I just started praying, you know, and asking the Lord for help. And once when I started praying, it's basically when it left. You know, it vacated the place. And so this day, I know in my heart that, you know, Jesus and God is the answer. Prayer is the answer to these evil things that are out there. And I say most of them all are some way evil. You know, you could say an alien, but it's an evil entity, and Satan is the master of deceit and disguise. And so they want you to something else. They want you to pretend it's something, you know, different, because doesn't want you to know, because evil and good go hand in hand. You can't have God without having evil and Satan, and you can't have Satan and evil without having God. So, you know,
there's only one name under heaven that can save us from these inhumanoids and all the powers and principalities of this earth, and that's Yeshua, Jesus Christ. So as long as you know that and you're able to invoke that name, then he will save you. It's written that everyone who calls on the name of our Lord Jesus Christ will be saved. So that's what's written, and that's what I believe.
Absolutely, and I do too. Just as, like I said, I attend church here and there, and association, because I honestly have to keep spiritually grounded people around me, because if they're not, bad things come from them. And it's been a fact in my life that I've dealt with in so many different ways and so many different people. You know, eventually we ourselves as individuals open doors to the evil. Whether, you know, we get angry, you know, whether we use excessively or drink excessively, all those things can be open doors. And if you're not spiritually grounded with your. Did I lose you?
No, we're here. We're just listening, brother.
Okay, my phone flashed. And keep your armor of God polished. Keeping the word with you. I pray every day in a sense of rebuking evil, because I hibernate now. Pretty much, I have to just for my sake and others around me, because it's collateral damage. And I have so many other encounters. I mean, we can sit here through tonight and tomorrow with the evil. I've got pictures. I told you, Barton, of the pictures of the evil that slammed its face in the camera, and like a demon. And then the picture of the Grim Reaper in that same picture, and it was an outside, basically under the porch USB camera. And as the time that it slammed its face, it took a picture of that the Grim Reaper, and you could see the sickle in its hand, and it actually appeared in white, not black. You wouldn't have seen it if it was in black, but it was all white. But you could see the hood, no face, but the hood and everything, the outline, it hanging off its arm, holding onto the sickle. And then it's turned the camera when it slammed it. After it took those pictures, it took 3 more. It take 3 in a session. And then in the sliding glass window of this house, and this house turned out demonic, bad. I had a lot of stuff going on in this house. But it took this picture of this little gremlin, like guy with scraggly hair and all busted, ugly teeth, and just, another demonic face. And it had its hands out like claws, hanging on to like the edge of the screen door, just looking out at you. And it's just the creepiest stuff. And we had other pictures of stuff that we captured there at that house. And that was in Diamond Lake, north of Spokane. And so, that's a whole huge story there. But I want to get you, like I said, get you those pictures. We'll get them enhanced, and because they're telltale. Because I'm working on a book too myself, and of all these different experiences that I've had. And back 7 years ago, I died in an accident, and but I was sent back by the Lord because I wasn't done yet. And I've had, I sent you a medical thing. I've had all but 9 vertebrae in my body broke. I've got titanium hip, titanium knees, both knees. My cervical, I got a titanium plate over all my vertebrae in my neck. I've taken some serious blows in my life, and it was at the hands of others. So, yeah.
Well, we're glad you made it through, Troy. We're glad you made it through, brother.
I think so. We still got time?
No, we got plenty of time, man. Plenty of time.
Okay.
And Anissa, we don't judge, hon. That's the Lord's job. So we believe that we're doing what we're supposed to do, right? We're not trying to force our beliefs on anyone. Never would do that.
No.
But it's our job to tell the
not.
truth as we know it. And the truth, like I say, the truth sticks where it's supposed to stick, and it slides right off everywhere else. So keep on going, Troy.
Well, hang on just a second. I want to say hi, Spill and Tea with Spunky Sparky. Yeah. It's so good to see you back. Everybody say hi. Wish her back, please.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's back.
Hey. All right. Sparky.
Hey, she's back.
Yeah.
Sparky, welcome back.
Yes.
So good to see you again.
Thank God you're back.
Yeah, she's had a rough time of it here lately. We're all a big family here, and we don't all believe the same. But we do try to get along in harmony. And if I'm given a truth and I don't try to share it with my fellow man, then I'm doing a disservice to my fellow man. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So go ahead.
And knowledge is the key. Like you just said, is sharing. And we do have different beliefs and this and that, but when we come together in a whole and we share what we have experienced and what we've encountered, we don't push it like my beliefs in Jesus and God. I don't push it. I share it because I want to help everyone that I can with what I know and what I've experienced.
Yes.
And you know,
that's all
you
we can
can't
do,
do it.
brother. I mean, we have experiences
right.
like yours and mine. We can't do anything but share and tell the truth, and that's how we help our fellow man. And that's the only thing we can do. Is not be quiet and tell everyone, stand tall and stand for the truth and tell it. And who wants to believe it can, and whoever don't want to believe it, they don't have to believe it, right? So
Right.
we're not forcing.
Yeah.
We're trying to force anything on anyone. We're just trying to be true human beings and do what's right.
No, and knowledge is the key, you know, to equipping ourselves for what is out there. It's amazing what our government's doing and what they're,
It's terrifying, brother. It's not amazing. It's terrifying.
Yes, it is absolutely terrifying. I don't so much go camping, not like I used to. And there's a couple of reasons for that. It's not because I'm afraid. It's partially physical stuff, you know, and I get around good because of the Lord. I shouldn't even be walking. I should be paralyzed. As far as medically, with my neck as messed up as it is, I'm known at the hospital as the walking quadriplegic, which does not happen because I'm still walking and they can't figure out why, because my neck's been so broken and messed up that so I definitely have to give all the credit to the Lord with it.
Yes,
and,
definitely. Sister Angie, there will come a time when I will want you to come on and speak, hon. We really appreciate you and we love you. So anytime that you're willing to come on, it's not like I'm forcing anyone to come on my show and speak. Troy asked me to do this. He was brave enough to ask me to do this, just like you're doing, and we will have you on for sure.
Absolutely, I love it. I'm hooked.
Well, we love hearing you, man. And you know, as someone said earlier, I don't know if you caught that we have all the Inhumanoids love you, brother. So don't ever forget that. Yeah, you're not alone. No one's alone. That's why we're here. We're all a big family, and it's you know, I talk to you guys more than some of you, more than I do my own family, my own brothers and sisters. So we're all here together. Yeah. We're here to help each other. That's all.
Well, I don't have family anymore, really. All my parents are passed away. All my grandparents, sister gone. Everyone in my family, pretty much. So my friends are my family, and my brothers and sisters, you know, that are out there. So I absolutely appreciate that. It means a lot to me, Barton and Latisha and Krista. I mean,
you do have family, yeah. As you can see, really our little community is growing. We're growing a little at a time, but we're not dividing. We're coming together, and we're facing the world around us with the truth. And like Jesus said, my people die for lack of knowledge. So we're trying to break the narrative that's been given to us and handed down to us for all these decades. We know it's not right because 70 years later, no one has taken one single step forward when it comes to the Inhumanoid phenomenon, right? Or phenomena, as there's more than one. So we're trying to all pitch in and help each other and tell the truth. And it's people like you and I who have experiences that know what the truth is, right? We know that Bigfoot is not an ape, and we know that Bigfoot and Dogman are not cryptids. So cryptids is just a natural animal that's rumored to exist that still has yet to be identified by science. Nothing about these Inhumanoids are natural. They're partly human, partly animal. So we know they're not cryptids. Right. There are no partly human cryptids at all. So everybody running around calling these things cryptids, you've been misled and you've been deceived, and we need to open our eyes up. We've been misled and deceived about most everything we think we know. And most everything we were taught has been lies. So we're just trying to wake people up. That's a horrible noise there, brother Troy, whatever you're doing.
I just moved here and give my dog a treat.
It sounds like you're opening up a bag of potato chips.
I know. There we go. I just gave him a treat, so he'd cool that. He'd swallow on his treats. So I've got another one here that's pretty good.
All right.
Which I've got a lot, but I wrote this one down.
Now, next time you're on, Troy, you have to send those pictures in so we can share them with everyone, let everyone see them, okay?
Yeah, and we'll make sure the audio's covered really good.
Yeah.
You know, so that it could be there, because that's frustrating for everyone, and I don't want it to be frustrating. I want it to be enjoyable. Definitely.
I haven't blown my nose yet, Melissa. I have coughed a few times, and I cannot mute because Troy is on my phone. So I apologize for coughing. I'm still sick. You know, every time there's a laugh, it seems like the devil has a reason for me not to do it, but I have yet to not do it. So apologies for the coughing.
Oh, you're all good, brother. You cough all you need. It's all right. We're not getting any younger. You
It's
know?
your show. You cough as much as you want. I mean, just saying.
Well, I didn't want to put everybody through all that, Krista, but that's the
Okay.
only way I can do this. So I'm going to do it. So again, apologies. Yeah. Let's go, Troy.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next story. Hello,
Okay.
Cat Squad.
Well, I lived in Diamond Lake up north, Newport area of Washington State for 25 years off and on. We had property up there, and we had 5 acres. And so my sister and brother-in-law, we remodeled the house there, and then I was taking care of my mom in Spokane and raising my daughter by myself. Her mother was out of the picture completely. After I got custody of my daughter at age 3, I raised her by myself alone, and her mother put me through literal hell, and she was evil, and it just happened to be the best thing that I was ever blessed with. Was my daughter came with the worst thing that ever could be imagined. But
Sure.
you know, and again, that's another story that I'll share. But she ended up bringing the evil to my location up there at the property, her mother. And so even though she wasn't around, it hung around. And again, I've been plagued with it throughout my life. So this occasion, a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in quite a while, we touched bases on the Facebook and stuff, and he had come up to the property because I had snowmobiles again, and he was going to tune up my snowmobiles and stuff for me, and he was a snowmobile mechanic. So he brought his little 9-year-old daughter up with him. I said, you know, no problem. Well, they were supposed to get there earlier, but they didn't get there till like 8 at night. And in the wintertime, it's dark, you know. So I was outside working on the snowmobiles under the little cover. And, you know, I'd bring his daughter in and get her warm, and, you know, she could watch TV or whatever and this and that. Well, she was inside the fifth wheel, and I came in to check on her. And when I came in, he was just about getting finished up outside. So I came in, and I was trying to think. Cindy was her name. I asked her, I said, you know, Cindy, how you doing? She's like, I'm fine. You know, she's a pretty articulate 9-year-old, but basically, you know, 9-year-old. And I said, okay, well, and she goes, is my dad done yet? And I said, well, no. And she goes, well, I don't feel very good. And I want to go, I kind of want to go home. And I'm like, okay. And I said, well, do you want to go talk to your dad? And she's like, yeah. So we started walking out, and the bathroom was right by the exit door, kind of the bathroom door. And I kind of stepped into the bathroom and just opened the door so she could go out in front of me, you know, instead of from behind me. And all of a sudden, she's kind of just stopped. And she looked up at me, and out of this weird look, her eyes were glazed over, and she goes, are you afraid of me? And I was like, what? And she goes, and then she says, well, you should be. I was sent here for you. And I'm like, wow. This is something a 9-year-old little girl doesn't say. And her voice had changed, you know, it wasn't really her. At this point, I could kind of tell, you know, in the way she had said it. I was sent here for you, not my dad and I came here to help you, or I was sent here for you. And I was like, and then she just snapped like that and turned around and said, I want to go outside, in a normal voice again. I was like, oh, what the So she went outside and she was talking to her dad. She said, I really feel ill. I feel sick to my stomach. And he's like, well, I'm just about done here. And he's like, well, you want to go sit in the car or warm up the car? Because, he was just finishing up, picking up his tools and stuff. So she went and got in the car, and I didn't know what to do at that point. I didn't want to say anything to him. I didn't want to freak him out. I knew that wasn't that little girl. It's just something she wouldn't say. It was nothing like that. Like, you afraid of me? I mean, I don't even know where that came from. She was just saying she was sick and she wanted to go talk to her daddy. And it was in a different tone of voice, and her eyes had changed. So I knew something had stepped in and used her for that moment. Well, I talked to him, and he's like, well, I'd love to come up and play, Dad. I said, yeah, that'd be great. So I walked him over to his car, and he's got to back out. So he's over by the edge of the driveway on the opposite side. And so I was looking through the window on the passenger side of the vehicle, and he had the car running, and then, she turned on the music a little bit. So he's like, yeah, I'll come up and hang out. And I said, I told him, I said, well, yeah, you guys need to come up and visit and play on the snowmobiles. And she just, in that look again, she looked at me and she goes, well, I'll be here to visit. I'm not going anywhere. And he couldn't really hear her because she turned her face away from him and looked right at me and said this. And I was just like, okay, hey, bud, you guys take a safe drive home. The roads are icy and this and that. I took a step back, and that was the first time that I'd ever had, it step in and use a child around me, and when it comes from a perfectly innocent child, but her father wasn't, and I'm just saying this, maybe, whatever, but he was not a into God person, so she didn't have a foundation with God or Jesus or whatever. And, for me, I believe, that's what saves us and helps us with, myself and the children and stuff. But, I was shaking after he left. I was just shaking going, now that was weird. I'd had it come out of my daughter's mother and stuff and other adults at that time, but never an innocent child. And I had been dealing with a family that I had that was down the road that was a witch. This woman was a witch, and I met her son because they ran out of gas in front of my house, and he was my age. So we got to know each other slightly from that, and then we'd hung out and a little bit, and I started picking up on the fact that his mom was a witch, and she had kept her husband down in the basement, and I'm not even kidding about this. He worked for the railroad, and he retired, but they married after the fact that she couldn't collect his retirement if he died. She could only collect it with him living, and then they could keep the retirement from the railroad. And he had a huge pension. Well, he had some disease. I can't remember what it was. He was diagnosed, terminal at that point. And she kept him alive on a medical bed and IVs and the whole bit downstairs in the basement for years and years. And, I started finding out Gus is his name, and he was a real cool guy, but, this guy is supposed to die, and she's keeping him alive somehow. I started learning a little bit more, and I got the feeling, from her, well, then this guy and I had a major falling out, and he had stolen from me. So I went and collected what I needed to collect from him, and that's another whole long story. But then at that point, it was like, I don't ever want to see you again. I had to draw down in the whole bit. It was $500 he stole from me out of my place when I was gone. So I ended up collecting it from him and saying, I don't ever want to see you again. But then after that, she put out the fact that they were going to curse me and this and that. And so I don't, whatever. I was just like, cocky attitude, bring it on. I've got faith, you know, I'm not worried about it. But a lot of stuff started happening. And then, like I said, it used my daughter's mother a lot because she had, you know, anger issues huge and bipolar, and she was a user, you know, in the sense that she self-medicated. And it was, you know, I was 30 when my daughter was born, and I wasn't planning on having children. It was just what happened, you know, and then I started dealing with it. But I was saving my daughter, you know, because her mother on multiple times said, if I can't have, because my daughter had a half brother, and he was 3 years older than my daughter. So when she was born, he was like 3. So by the time I got custody, he was like 5, and she was like 2.5 or whatever. And she was losing both kids. An aunt and uncle were taking the half brother in family law, or getting custody of him from her. Well, she had on multiple occasions said, if she can't have the kids, no one will. And she meant it.
Wow.
You know, she did try in the end to take out the kids and herself. And you know, so that's a whole other incident where, you know, it's a whole story on its own, because it got really bad. She pulled a gun and the whole bit, and you know, but she did things that a normal person couldn't do. She was 5'3", 102 pounds by wet, and she leaped at one point across the fifth wheel, standing still. I was so angry at me, cursing me and everything, and she just all of a sudden leaped 6-7 feet and didn't hit me at my feet. She landed on my left shoulder and my neck and tried to rip my jugular vein out of my neck. And I had actually got her off of me because I seen her coming, you know, not running. She wasn't running. I just seen her flying. And so I impact braced, and I got her down on the ground, and she crawled faster than I could run. I ran to get out the door. She grabbed my back of my legs, crawling. And I actually put a foot to her forehead and got out and left, you know, at that point. But she had custody of my daughter because we weren't married. So I had to stick around and protect my daughter at, you know, whatever cost it was. And
very noble of you to do that, Troy. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
I'm sure
you have to. You bring children into this world. I mean, there's so many people that abandon their kids and walk away, and I know I was there with my father and stuff, and I swore I would never, you know, ever. If I brought a child into this world, you know, I was going to be there for her, but, you know, I stayed single because it was too hard for me to take care of myself and raise my daughter alone and take care of a relationship. There was not enough time and space and energy in it. So, you know, she's 26 now. She'll be 26 in April 24th, and she's graduated 4.0 honors from high school, and then
Excellent.
4 years of college honors at WSU. So
you did a great job, brother.
Well, I just did what I had to do. You know, I could have been a better father too, but you know, I always, you know, we always feel like we could be better. You know,
Sure. It's a
struggle.
struggle. It's a struggle to be better, a little bit better every day than we were the day before. And God's plans for us seldom match our own, but you know, it's where He places us, and we're really just supposed to do the best that we can. God knows that none of us are perfect. If we were, we would not have needed Jesus Christ to sacrifice Himself for us. So,
Amen. That's
just
true.
Try to do better and try to be more Christ-like. And Anissa, we love you, hon. Please come join our family. And JD Smooth, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
He's not doing great.
I'm okay. Yeah. I'm okay.
Yeah, I know. You go out on an adventure, have a great time and encounters, and now you got to pay the price, right? A little bit,
right?
Well,
it was worth it. It was worth it. You know, staying out in the night, the cold night air and damp takes a toll on anybody to do it for a week straight. So, but you know what? I'll be fine. A couple more bottles of orange juice and a few prayers from my brothers and sisters. I'll be just fine. So, thank you for your concern, everyone.
Absolutely, you're my prayers too, and And
Well, thank you, Troy. You're in ours too, brother. We really
So-
appreciate it. You got anything else you want to share?
you know,
We got a few more minutes.
got a few more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've
We
got
have
stuff.
to do the giveaways here in about, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes.
All right. Why don't we do one more Bigfoot encounter?
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. 2015, I go elk hunting with my hunting partner in Mount Spokane area, and we went up for almost 2 weeks. We went up and with the trailer full load, but we were camping in tents and ATVs and the whole bit, and we were hunting through deer and elk season, archery. So we, planned this out for quite a, 6 months before at least, so we got up there, and there wasn't a whole lot of people around, but it was a really dry year, really just, dusty and dirty and stuff. And we were there probably about 6 days at this point, and we kept seeing these bull moose, 6 of them, bunched up. They were all hanging together, no cows, and these bull moose here and there. And I mean, the biggest one was 8x9, and the smallest one was like a 4x5. So they went all the way through that range of bull moose, and they usually don't hang like that together. It's really weird, in this area.
Yeah.
Well, we saw them, I think at this point, maybe twice in different areas, and they'll hang a lot around where they go and stuff. And this day, it was just coming up on noon, and it was actually in the afternoon. It was about an hour and a half before dark. It was like 3 o'clock. And we'd taken this one trail that we'd never went on, and we got up to the top of it, and it ended, and it was the rim of this bowl, and down to the bottom of this bowl was probably only maybe 600 yards, but there was no access. This rim, it dead ended the trail, and that was the end of it right there. And so we stopped, we get off, we blast the area, see if we could see anything, and we're talking, and we don't see no animals, don't hear nothing. It's real quiet, and then all of a sudden, it echoed through, and it was about 200 yards from where we were at, approximately, you hear it, and it just snap, crack, and then this huge roar, and it just bellowed on for, it seemed like a minute, but it was probably a good 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and it wasn't where the sound came from, you couldn't see there, but it was only maybe 200 yards, somewhere in there, 200, maybe 300. And my first thought was, I knew that sound was a Bigfoot, but my first thought was that it fell out of a tree, because the roar that came out of it was just like an roar, and the crack of that branch was a big branch. When you hear it fall in the wind and stuff in trees, kind of you get to learn the size of a tree when it breaks, and goes pop, and that sound and stuff. And so it was, it was a loud percussion with the break, and then instantly, and so we looking at each other, and we're in archery season. We do have one single shot 12 gauge shotgun on us or 20 gauge, 20 gauge for grouse, right? Yeah. And that's it. And I had a crossbow because I'm disabled. I get to hunt with the crossbow and stuff, but he had his regular bow. And I'm thinking, I think it's time for us probably to go, because that's an upset Bigfoot, and Jeff's hunted all his life too, my buddy Jeff. And he knew too instantly, he's had his own encounters too. And so he knew too, it's like, that's, us a Bigfoot, and he sounds angry, whether it's us because we were up there, I didn't know whether he fell, out of the tree, but then I started thinking about it, and I think more he might have broke it. you know, from anger. But so we get on the instantly fire up the ATVs. You know, you always think noise. Noise is going to kind of keep them away. They don't like that noise. So we fire up the ATVs. We pack up our stuff, get ourselves ready again, you know, to come down. And so as we're coming down this road, the road would have winded along where the bull came out. The bull on the other side, this trail didn't quite intersect it, but maybe 50 yards from it, as a crow flies from where that Bigfoot was about to where if it would have, you know, straight line over was an area about maybe 50 to 100 yards from where we were coming down the trail. And for it, like I said, it's 500 yards to the bottom of the bowl, maybe another 500, 750 yards up. But we weren't going real fast. We were going pretty slow. Well, all of a sudden we come, and we were very far away. We were probably 600 yards down the trail, 700 yards ourselves. And all of a sudden, out of the woods, right in front of us, comes that herd of bull moose. And they come out of the woods trucking, and they get on the trail right in front of us, one after the other in line. And they're just, now they're not moving hardly at all. You know, they're just going slow. Like, whoa. The next thing you know, here comes these turkeys, wild turkeys. And these turkeys are following these moose, and they come out from the bush, and they're running underneath the moose to the other side, underneath their legs, to the other side of the bank, and alongside these moose. And at that point, I'm thinking, oh, wow, where's that Bigfoot? You know, because these animals are all moving out together, and they don't usually pack like that. And turkeys don't hang out and run with the moose. I mean, that's just not common, you know. And running under their legs in a hurry, in a bunch.
Yeah. Did the Bigfoot ever come out and show itself?
He didn't come out and show himself. No, but I did. On that occasion, I did smell him. Yeah. We did smell that Bigfoot. He was close. Yeah, you could smell that just a rancid smell, and it wasn't the moose either, you know, because I know how they smell. Been around them. I was just a really rancid, nasty smell, you know, and that was strong punching in the air. So we knew he was close, and we didn't want to go find him, and we didn't want him to find us, to be honest, because like I said, whatever happened, he was not a happy camper. Right. And I think we would have been the really unhappy campers and hunters if we'd have even kept waiting. I wanted to stick with the moose.
Yeah, definitely. I want to clear something up in the chat, if you don't mind, Troy. Miss JoJo. So I did have a dog whistle, and that was me blowing the dog whistle. Now, the Aztec death scream was me actually doing the scream, because the whistle, the kind that you can order and get in the mail, it has a really shrill, screechy sound to it, but it doesn't carry very far. So that was me actually screaming, and me, the creatures were answering back. But Merle's talking about that dog whistle that Bubba gave me, Martin Groves. And I tell you, I was editing that video, and I have to say, Merle, it annoyed the heck out of me too.
Me too.
So good thing I edited most of the whistles out of there, or you guys would really be in bad shape. So yeah, that's what he's talking about. I did have a dog whistle. It was blowing that, but it was me actually doing the screams that the creatures responded to. So Troy, I want to thank you, brother, for coming on, man. It's been great. And we'll have to do this again. I know you just barely got started, and 2 hours seems like a long time until you start talking. Then it's probably no time, right? Yeah,
it just it flew by, and I hope I did all right. And
you did fantastic, brother. Fantastic. We'll have to get you on again and let you finish your story. And you're right, Merle, that dog whistle got on my nerves, and I'm sure it got on everyone's nerves. We're out there trying to get a response so we can expose the truth of these inhumanoid creatures to you guys. So
that was a great video. That was a great video.
Troy.
That was cool.
I appreciate you, brother. And thanks again for your bravery. You know, like I say, it's all we can do when we've seen things like this is come out and step out of the shadows and out of ambiguity and anonymity and tell people what we've seen. So that is how we help our fellow man. We cannot make them believe anything. They have to choose to believe the truth. So before we do our giveaway, I want to say something there.
Yes,
Yeah.
everybody. If you need any roofing done, make sure you call Larry Fisher and Sons Roofing. There's his phone number. And just want to let you know you can call him and he'll come and take care of your roofing needs.
Yeah, no matter where you live.
All right.
So,
we're going to do the drawing now. We're going to let you go.
All right.
Troy,
Troy,
I love you,
Love y'all.
brother. Thanks for being
Have
a
a
part of this
blessed evening.
family. Yeah, God bless you and yours, and we'll be talking again soon. I'm just a phone call away, right? And
All right.
if anyone else has stories that they would like to share, please send them to inhumanoidencounters@gmail.com. Who knows? You might be here. Yeah, you might be here talking to us live on Wednesday nights. So, honey, let's go. Let's give this
All
stuff
right.
away to these wonderful
Honey,
people.
let's go. He said, honey, let's go. You want
Right.
Krista to do it?
Well, okay, whichever, honey, is going to do it. Let's do
I
it.
guess you're going to be the honey tonight, Krista.
Okay. What
Okay,
do you want to give away first?
Let's give away the hat first.
This is a hat that Josh Turner and PRT family had made for us, and thank you so much again.
They're awesome too.
Josh, we appreciate you.
Yep. All right. I got to share my screen.
Okay.
Hold on.
Thank you, River Morse, for that tribal dance and white light sent from down under, mate. Thank you so much.
Wait, I just seen somebody said.
Tell me when.
All
Okay,
right.
hang on, let me do a prayer. Everybody pray for I and Michael. He needs prayers majorly.
Yes, please pray for I am Michael. So we're getting away the hat. The word is going to be hat, right? So everybody
Yep.
type it. No?
Yep, she's going.
Okay. Here we go. Everybody type in hat. If you want a hat, an Inhumanoid's hat, type it in the chat right now. That's something you might want to own and wear. Type in the word hat. Please put it in capital letters.
No,
No?
don't have to be capital.
Doesn't have to be capital?
Needs to
Okay.
be what it says right there.
All right. Give everybody a minute or two to do that. I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. We had a wonderful show. Troy did a wonderful job.
Whenever you're ready, Krista.
Okay. Here we
All
go.
right.
Spin that wheel, Krista.
South Force 10.
South Force,
Yay!
yeah, Bobby. Brother
All
South
right.
Force. Congratulations.
Hey,
You have a new Inhumanoid's hat coming your way, brother. Just text me your mailing address. We'll get this right out to you.
actually, they're texting it to me.
Okay. Text Latisha your address.
Text it to lmsmith1970@hotmail.com. If somebody wants to drop that for me, I appreciate it.
What is it?
lmsmith1970@hotmail.com.
Right, I am. You won't find any dark people here, brother. We're all good people. That's why the good Lord has brought us together as a family here. So no one's going to do that to you, and I empathize with you because I've had it done to myself more than once. So, all right, our next item we're going to give away.
Our next item is a shirt, an Inhumanoid shirt given to us by PRT, Josh Turner, Nellie
You
Turner.
see that, guys? Really nice shirt. What size is that, honey?
It don't matter. I'll give them whatever size they need.
Right, so you guys want to type in shirt for a chance to win this shirt.
Let Krista share her screen. My dog is losing her mind.
She does this every live stream. I'm just going to have to put her outside. Okay. Type in shirt, you guys, if you like to have wear one of these Inhumanoid shirts. Really nice design. I did the artwork for it. Brother Josh did the orders and had them made. So type in shirt if you want to wear this shirt around. Give everybody a couple minutes to
They're
do
still
that.
typing in.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready, go for it.
All right, spin that wheel. Krista, spin that wheel. Here we go. The winner of the t-shirt is Claire Ellis.
Ellis. All right.
Congratulations, Claire. Now, I believe you live in UK. So that's
Gonna take us a while to
going
get
to take
there.
us a while to get it to you, but you send us your mailing address and we'll get it there for you, okay? Sure appreciate you.
I said you forgot to
Congratulations.
cut the sleeves off of it.
Yes, I can cut the sleeves off if you like. That's how I prefer myself. Most people, I don't know if they would want
Yeah,
that.
2 more giveaways.
Yeah, we got one more
No, we
giveaway.
got 2 more giveaways.
2 more?
You didn't know about the last one. It's a
Oh,
surprise
it's
for
a
you
surprise
too.
for me. So I know we're giving away a print,
We're gonna give away an art print.
an art print.
Mhm.
So you guys type in print. It's an original art print of my art that I did for my books. Type in print for your chance to win an art print, and I'll choose you a really good one. Here we go. This is so fun, guys. I wish we could sit up here and just give away stuff all night long. Type in print. It does not have to be capitalized.
Somebody put coconut cake.
Coconut cake.
That had to be war criminals.
Oh, it had to be
Devin.
war criminal.
War criminal or Martin Groves, one or the other.
What
But I
it
agree
was-
with that. That coconut cake's pretty darn good.
Right? Everyone loved that coconut cake.
It
that
was war criminal.
Sheila Groves made us a nice. She actually made 2 coconut cakes for everyone, and everyone just loved it.
We definitely all ate good, didn't we?
Yes, we
Yes,
did.
we always eat like kings when we're down there.
Yep.
Okay, everybody, 10 more seconds to type in the word print, and we're going to spin this wheel.
Shasta.
Sparky, I can't believe you said that, hon.
I knew Martin Groves. Somebody would say it would be sauce for Martin Groves. You're right.
Right. Well, he's got plenty of sauce. He should still have some
No.
left. I don't know.
He probably don't have no sauce left. All right, spin that wheel, Krista.
Here we go. The winner of our art print is PG63. Congratulations, PG.
Send your information to me.
Yeah, send us your mailing address, please, in a private message, and we'll get this out to you.
So
Very
the next
soon.
thing, this is mine, but
Oh,
let me see
okay.
if I can put it in here. Gary Spike Sr. is donating. He gave me this, and he's donating
What?
a walking stick. So it is. I will tell
Wow.
you guys. You guys can't. It's not doing justice in here, and I can't stand up.
Let's see,
But-
it's like hand carved.
It is, and it's very, very nice. He does a great
Oh,
job with
wow.
them. And so the next one, Gary is going to give away a walking stick.
Excellent.
Wow.
So,
But he's
Joe
not
and-
making you give yours away, right?
Heck no, I'm not giving mine away. It's mine.
I was
He made
thinking,
this one for me.
thank you so much, Gary.
Yeah.
You're
I
awesome.
just went out
You are
to
welcome, Greg.
I went out and grabbed it so y'all could see what it. What it
Thank you, Krista. Joe and Jesse Doyle still have my walking stick. So I'm going to put my name in this drawing if you don't mind. I need a new walking stick. I'm just kidding.
All
So-
right.
Let her make the word up.
Yeah, you make
She
the
knows
word
it.
up, Krista.
I already made the word up, and it
All right, you go.
is just hold on. Let me share my screen with y'all. And it is stick, just stick.
All right.
Stick. No capitalization, just the word stick. You guys type it in there. Don't type walking first, just stick.
Just stick, because it won't pick up with the
It
walking.
won't pick up if you type walking stick. Hello, Melissa. Jerry, Ken, all these wonderful people here. Hello, Merle. So good to see you here, brother.
DJ,
Hello,
author.
author BJ. Lone Star. Wedge, hello.
Werewolf.
Werewolf, nice to see you.
War criminal.
War criminal, nice to see you, Wolf brother. Watching Grandmama.
Mike.
Squatching grandma.
Oh,
Grandma Mall.
Mike.
And Nissa.
Mhm.
Paranormal
Yes,
Oz.
Paranormal
Lee
Oz, Lee
Richard.
Richard. What did he say? What's the what?
I didn't see it. What's the what?
Yeah, that's the question. What's
the deal with
all these tech stick?
stick?
So you're trying to win this walking stick, Lee. So we're having giveaways. We've done giveaway 3 items. We're giving away our last item. Type in stick if you'd like a chance to win a walking stick.
All right.
Okay.
Ready? Whenever you are, Krista.
All righty.
Supercalifragilistic.
People come up with some crazy names, right?
That was funny.
Julie
Oh,
Smith.
Julie, yay.
Congratulations, Julie. You have won a very nice walking stick from Gary Spikes Jr. So,
Now,
Senior.
with that one,
Gary
What-
Spike Senior.
senior,
no,
yes.
I'm sorry, Gary Spikes Sr. Yes.
So with that one, what do we need to do, Krista? Have them send.
Have them send you their address, and then here it is,
Okay.
right here. You just put it up. Let me throw it up here.
I seen that just as we were saying that.
Yep. Email GSPIKES58 gspikes58@yahoo.com. I'll leave that up for just a
Thank you,
moment.
Gary
Julie,
Spikes
you
Sr.
can
That
do
was so nice. Very nice of you to donate that. We really appreciate you, brother. I'm sure we'll all be meeting up down there.
Gary's a good guy.
Yeah.
Right.
We're all good guys here, Krista. So we want to thank everybody that's donated, sent in donations. Yeah.
You want to pull those up for me, Krista, and then we're going to say goodbye to everybody,
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
absolutely. All righty.
All right. Thank you, Justin Boyd.
Thank you very much, Justin.
Brother
Heck,
Heck.
thank you so much. Our prayers are with you. Please get well soon.
DJ Tyler Radio. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler.
Larry Fisher. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother
Appreciate
Larry.
it. Night Stars.
Thank you so much, Night Stars. We appreciate you.
Fisher Spam.
Fisher, how you doing, brother? Coca-Cola makes Coca-Cola fuels all this stuff.
Justin Boyd. Thank you so much. The Eclipse Truth. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny. So nice of you. Truthy
Truthy
Ruthie.
Ruthie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your
Happy Easter
generosity.
to you too, and hope you're feeling better.
And God bless you.
Brother Heck again, thank you. Appreciate that.
You guys are the best.
Liberty 1776, thank you so much.
Thank you so
We
much,
appreciate
Tim.
it.
Be talking to you again on the phone soon. Looking forward.
Hand of
Odd.
Odd.
Thank you,
Thank you
Han.
so much. Appreciate you becoming a member. And thank you for gifting some members, Han. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Han. Truth Walker, formerly ND Southpaw.
Okay,
Happy
say.
Easter. Happy Easter to you, sister.
So everybody
Thank
be
you so
looking
much.
for that. That's Indy Southpaw.
Truth Walker.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pancho. We
Thank
appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for your generous donation. This will definitely help us buy new cameras. We need a flare
JD
pretty bad.
Smooth.
Thank you, JD. Appreciate you asking about me too, brother. Thank you for becoming a member of the family.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate everybody and we
Yes,
appreciate
we do.
everybody being here, sticking with us, and we'll get those mailed out as soon as you get your information to me. I'll get them in the mail.
Yes. Everybody, remember, a lot of bad things could be coming up soon, but don't be scared. Be prepared. Jesus Christ is the way and the truth and the light, and no one can escape the truth, no matter how hard they try. So you guys take care. God bless, and be sure to come back next Wednesday night where I'll be discussing our trip to the LBL, and I'll try and see maybe Brother Martin might get on here with me and Brother Daryl. Maybe they want to come on and discuss what happened last week. It was the craziest week ever. As you know, we got some good evidence finally from the LBL of unknown animals, or whatever you want to call them, living in their LBL. So be sure to come back next week. Thank you, Nunnelly. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
Thank you, Eclipse Truth. We appreciate that.
Definitely. Thank you, Truthy Ruthie. We love you guys.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry. Sister Sherry, we love you so much. God bless each and every one of you.
There we go. Another one.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Thank y'all so much. We'll be back next Wednesday at 8 o'clock Central Time. We'll be discussing our trip to the Land Between the Lakes National Recreation Area. Don't miss it next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central. Take care. God bless each one of you. Be safe.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Good night. Are
Good
you
night.
in?
You go ahead. Sorry.
We didn't discuss this.
I know, right?
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.